10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Clockwork!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Venomancer.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Send.
Dire team ban.
Disruptor.
Ten seconds. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Winter Wyvern.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Weaver.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Bloodseeker.
Dire team ban.
Enchantress.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Storm Spirit.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Templar Assassin.
Choose your hero. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
How can you lower the quality of the stream? Why would you want to do that? Either way, we're going to have the typical CIS pause. Right now, things looking smooth for me. North American Cuck. This through series. Fly on his disruptor here. Storm. Quite a bit of facial hair. Romeo for Matzo picks up the PMS set of tangos. Like to see how the Veno load. TA is going to be mid. There's pretty much nowhere else to put her. It gives her access to stacking for herself. Gives her more levels with the extra creep in the mid lane. As we talked about before, the matchup is simply favorable. Bolosha. So a lot of good reasons to put that. Kind of just depends where we see the Bloodseeker. But assume they'll put the blood possibility alternative, considering he's gotten a poor man's shield and likely would only be versus General Clockwork and occasionally Roger Enchant. Kind of feels like an off. Not much regen. Nice to be back in the casting chair, guys. I hope you enjoy. Day we've got 4 best of 3s today, 2 in CIS, follow up 2 in N. With wheel wreck while whistling versus Mind's Eye. A lot of good action. Digital Chaos North America. Lot of good Dota to come your way in the next 4 days for these ESL One Hamburg qualifiers. First major of the new season happening in October in Hamburg, believe it or not. Hell of a time. All right, people still disconnecting. Base created. Dota is just not the same game without chat wheel sound. Towers look great though, have to say. Good old default towers. That. Game yet. If you're choppy on 1080p FPS, it's your fault, not mine. All day long. All right, smoke out from the Hala Ares side. Couple smokes purchased up by Navi as well. More than likely, they're just, backpacking those and resetting the cooldown such that they can get as many smokes out from this Roger Enchantress as possible. Spear on Wyvern, smoked up, gonna get down some vision, it seems. By the shrine, spot out early rook. Who's nearby if they can make an attempt of first. It is only Elf and Bloodseeker for the time being. Lightstone, Orb of Venom early. It looks like he's laning soon. Like he'll probably grab a creep or two and get. Anya. Nice deep ward. This actually gives a good amount of vision.
30 seconds to battle.
Not going to give you anything with respect to the room, but anytime a support rotates in from the Radiant side, the Dire should wear and it catches all of this Dire fog there. All of this spot in the mid. Her tower, or Dendy's not. Dire will. And the Radiant Sentry committed, so maybe a bit of a false positive for Navi's side is that no vision on this. Just over. So we'll have the regular 2-2 bounty split. Navi's lane by Roger. Dendy lets one go by, and it's up on the Templar Assassin's Hill. Already talked about how this match is a bit skew in the TA's favor, but it is level 1 where Dendy can trade a bit before fraction. by virtue of Bar. Veno, bottom lane, gonna get harassed up by Seneko. Looks like the second Thunderstrike. General has already used up the cogs and will get Arctic burned up. He's going to be Blood Raged as well, taking quite a bit of damage. We'll go for the double duration tank. Oh, meanwhile, Roger, as we mentioned before, does need this attention. Wow, with the Blightstone and the Breep tanking the tower, forces out the Fairy Fire. Roger is forced to back here as level 2 does get the refraction off, but that may just expire before she's able to use the charges. And meanwhile, bottom lane, did I catch it? I'm gonna count it for me, guys. The Chosen One, the first to go down. Seneko does fall thereafter, but he is denied by Crystallize. So nicely played from Na'Vi. They get the first blood, and no gold goes back the way that Venomancer. Dendi in the mid lane, 6-5 to the 4-1 of his laning counterpart, which is a really good sign for Na'Vi. The Dendi Storm Spirit's having a good time in this. And the Sand King making a rotation over from Hala Ares side, but is scouted by this Radiant Observer Ward, so Dendi feels more than safe to play this way.
Illusion.
Threatened right now. Burrow Strike coming through, trying to take out the creep. Will at least stop the channeling for now. And it seems like Chosen One, even with boots first, has already made his retreat to the jungle. So, again, almost by virtue of just pure skill, Na'Vi really getting a lot out of these lanes. Dire side in creep right on the Sand King. Dendi going to turn into him. Sand King still level 1. Dendi takes a bit of damage, but feeling, again, pretty safe in this lane. General posturing up aggressively in the top lane, 8-3 on his CS on the clockwork here, and now Roger on the Enchantress going to join him. He finds the Bloodseeker inside the cogs, soaks up most of this battery assault, will do a good amount of damage, burns out some mana as well. Roger in nearby, but doesn't have any sort of disable creep. One more right click, not there for General, as the Arctic Burn is there in time. But just for General to be able to do this and retreat off and salve up is a good sign from Na'Vi, though. Rotations inbound from the Sand King. General in trouble. Ping comes out on the Sand King. Gets bounced back by the cogs. This Radiant Observer Ward giving the timing to General. Is able to cog, salve up to the west as well. Na'Vi looking good thus far. Level 2 up on Roger. He's holding a skill point at this time, just in case he needs to heal. Go back towards the mid lane. 18-10 denies on the Dendi Storm Spirit here. He's in a little bit of trouble, though. Be careful not to be in that Psyblade's range. And he does get his salve off. While top lane, for the moment, has been abandoned. Roger farming up a bit in the jungle. The Venomancer doing the same. Only 5 CS on this Veno. We mentioned the boots first build, and yet retreating to the jungle. Just not very synergistic play to item build there. That is going to hurt. Chosen One killing here early game. EA forced to base here by Dendi. Sand King rotating in just to soak some of this mid lane experience. About the rune, just takes a peek. Now we'll get near tower to get. Should get near this level 2 here with this dying. Does end up picking that up. While Seneko finds out with a haste rune, the Venomancer has vision because of the Thunderstrike. One more right click is there. Seneko finds the kill. Roger top lane as well, maybe looking to wrap here with General. Did use his battery assault though. Will catch the Arctic Burn as well as the Splinter Blast. He's been blood raged up. Looking to turn. Charm is there and the Stomp as well. Beautifully played by Roger. General with the big right click from the Blood Rage. And Roger the one to pick up the kill. Now the Bloodseeker could be in a little bit of trouble. They get the battery assault off. Bloodright is there, but they should be able to chase him down. Units come inbound, but they're still able to get close. One more battery assault tick. Double kill for Na'Vi's squad in the top lane. And 5 minutes in, 4-0 for the fan favorite squad on the Radiant side. Dendi's picked up his level 6. 14 denies, 30 last hits. A full level ahead of this Templar Assassin in this game 1. Early game going swimmingly. We talked about the comfort level on these heroes for Na'Vi's side. It is showing. Roger has picked up the untouchable, but could be in a lot of trouble here. Splinter Blast available. Thrown out onto the creep. Roger will fall. Na'Vi have General inbound, but the creeps are there, and the stomp actually keeps him back. Now he could be in a little bit of trouble with the Blood Rage coming through. Nice set of cogs, though, from General. Will keep him safe. Easy. Says Rocket Flare flies out, and with the vision from the creep, they'll get the kill on the Sand King. Ay, 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 ay. Na'Vi ahead in this one considerably. We're already looking at a 3K net worth lead, 6 minutes, and near the same for experience. Tranquil Boots already up on General. He's going to be able to get in close for those battery assaults more often than not with that extra move speed. Plague Ward actually doesn't scout with that nerf to the vision on the Plague Wards recently. Does not scout Seneko. Seneko has kinetic field, and he's got a glimpse. Swarm flies through. Crystallize going to be able to get in front of this Venomancer, and Chosen One will just accept his fate. Meanwhile, top lane, the Bloodseeker goes down, and this is getting stompy in the early game in the favor of Na'Vi. Roger rotating through. He's got a net and an Alpha Wolf, and turning tail and running is this Wyvern. Dendi with an Arcane Rune. It's going to eliminate this wave top lane. Look to put some pressure into this tower. Dendi could be in a little bit of trouble. Is a little bit low. One bottle charge available. No Rupture, though, on this Bloodseeker. Dendi could be burrowed up here. In trouble. Bloodright is there as well. Arctic Burn looks like they'll just let Dendi go from the Na'Vi side. A little bit of confidence from them, and it looks like they may get this tower denied as well. With the creeps, though, Roger able to secure the last hit. Nice micro there from him. Well, the Disruptor does find some space mid lane, so they get the tower last hit, and they give a little bit of space to Neko. Hit with the Gale bot lane is Crystallized. It feels like a level 1 Gale, and it certainly is. Bit of a jungling oriented build here. Often we see 2-2 and then a max on the Plague Wards on the Venos most recently, but here just the 1 point in Gale, so Crystallized easily able to shrug that off. Has a Perseverance as well already here. 53 CS for Dendi, 52 for Crystallized, and the Bloodseeker already with a couple of deaths here. 1-2-0 is low on the CS. Meanwhile, Dendi does find a kill mid lane. That's going to be on the Wyvern, and General top with the Enchantress. They'll find a kill. He uses his first hook shot for that one, so that will be off the table for the next little bit. But maybe they look to wrap here mid lane. Dire Observer Ward, excuse me, though, will scout out Roger, and maybe the TA backs alongside the Sand King, doing a good job of not letting Na'Vi know that they're aware Enchantress is there, but still playing safe. Haste Rune bottom lane. Dendi does bottle that up. Crystallized, putting some punishment into this bottom lane tier 1. All things coming up Na'Vi here. 8 minutes, 4 top beholders of net worth lead are all on the Na'Vi side. Tranquils building into the Blade Mail. General big in the way of items, not really yet. Perseverance, as I mentioned before, on Crystallized. It's like we may be Midas's on the Hala side. Bloodseeker certainly makes sense. TA a little bit more peculiar with her ability to farm stacks. Often just go straight in for the damage, but it has been a rough early game, as we mentioned. Bottom lane, Seneko and Crystallize putting in work here, and with a Dire Glyph available, may take a moment or two. But actually, Dire Glyph, not pop. Disaster for Hala. Ares Crystallize the one to pick up that last hit. Dendi, meanwhile, doing a bit of farming. Still has that haste rune as the clarity queued up. Does have the 1 point in the vortex. That extra bit of Chakooching through bottom lane. There are a lot of Plague Wards here. He throws out the Swarm, does connect onto the Veno, does not connect on the Wyvern, and for now he will back off. Splinter Blast will fly through and connect. But with the Perseverance, as aforementioned, he finds Seneko near level 6, and these two heroes right on top of one each other without knowing it. Wyvern yet to be scouted. Level 4 at this point. Disruptor. Oh. With that all static storm bound. Triple stack of Ancients being farmed here by the TA, who does pick up the Aquila. Maybe sold that Glove of Haste. See it, but Dendi, though, going to look for the TP out and should not be successful. Thought he might be, but the level 2 Meld Strike with the Blood Rage on Dendi, able to finish him off, and that is a big kill for the TA, who pole vaults her way up to 3rd on the net worth chart. Mako does ding that level 6. Crystallize just free farming bottom lane, almost level 9 on the 2 mid laners, of course, with the extra creep. Pass him. Block. General going in with the hook shot. He is going to find one. That's the TA farming stack. Static Storm is there. Poison Nova does fly out. General looking for the TP out. And a bit of a weakness of this Hala Ares draft is the lack of Disable. Only the Sand King Burrow Strike. Now Roger, who's already level 6, trying to run away, has the impetus, has some creeps flying through. And now Crystallize joining. Shikuchi, one more right click, finishes off the Chosen One. Meanwhile, the Sand King Sentry is there. Seneko could be in a little bit of trouble with the Plague Wars. Gets his Thunder Strike off, though. Impetus flying through as well. Caustic Finale may end up killing off Seneko here, and actually is unable to do so. He makes it away scot-free. Everyone from Na'Vi survives. General's hook shot, maybe aside from Dendi early on, General's hook shot facilitating a big team fight win there for Na'Vi. Get a 3-0, 1,200 gold exchange, 1,500 experience go their way as well. Crystallize looking in bottom lane, going for that Linken's, which are the Bloodseeker and Wyvern here.
For the twins.
Well, Roger getting to work top lane. Dalian already. No boots is a luxury. Only heroes like Enchantress can afford 40 MS.
Radiant are scanning.
But 1,700 gold in the bank for Roger. While bottom lane smoked up from Hala Ares. Going to be a difficult kill. They'll look for it. They get off the Burrow Strike. Will the Blood Red be there in time? It is. And it looks like Crystallize may just end up dropping. Tries to stick up, but does not get the time lapse off. And the Static Storm essentially wasted here for Na'Vi squad. It's a big commitment, though. They lose a tier 2 in the top lane. In the meantime, that's a full Blade Mail picked up now just in a moment by General, having that space to farm. And Hala Ares will end up shrining up as a squad. Dendi mid lane is going to avoid the Splinter Blast. Will get the deny off. Dendi will be forced to zip on his way out. But now hookshot back through General is going to find with the Rocket Flare and the Battery Assault. The Winter Wyvern Bloodright is not going to be there. Try and back off Na'Vi, and now Dendi can continue to press forward. Oh, the Epicenter channeled and stopped by the Sand King. Na'Vi unaware of that, more than likely, but they can continue to press forward here. No hookshot, though. They'll look at the Roche Pit. They do have the Swarm available, the Medallion, that as I spoke of earlier. Crystallize and Dendi get in to do some damage, and the Roger Enchant up with 3 levels in Untouchable. It is a full Solar Crest, not a Medallion. 13 minutes in, 14 minutes in. It's unbelievable that we are only 14 minutes game at this point. 10k lead in the way of net worth, 6k in the way of experience for Na'Vi. Blade Mail up on General, just a recipe away from the Crystallize. No Dragon Lance, no Deso, very safe build from Crystallize against the... So again, we're going to have to see, you know, Burrow Strike, Bloodright combo for them to have any chance to bring that Crystallize. General finds 2 with his Rocket Flare, thinking about a hook, but it's actually all 5 heroes bot lane. Mako could be the first to catch a little bit of danger, and he does get the Static Storm off before dying, but doesn't latch anyone in it. Now General kind of stuck in his own cogs, but he gets the Blade Mail off, doing damage there. They'll find the Bloodseeker. Winter's Curse is there, but it's only onto one. That's Dendi, who has Aegis. Chosen One looking to TP out. General looking to find more. Will be able to find the Winter Wyvern. Right clicks will find now the Sand King out in no man's land. Tries to burrow into the cogs, but will just burrow to his own death. And a 3-for-1 trade going the way of Na'Vi. Templar Assassin TP's out towards the mid lane, but they get the 2 supports and the safe lane 1 position Bloodseeker. And will continue to press forward here. That is nearly the full Linken's. They'll also look to defend mid lane. Seneko does have a glimpse, but No vision uphill at TA with a relatively early blink, all things considered, how badly that is going to be able to make it out. Makes a lot of sense having this blink. Can kind of soak the first couple of ticks of Thunderstrike and make it out of vision range. Very big threat is this disruptor, but there's always the rocket flare for more vision, the hook shot in from General, which he's looking for right now, it seems. So I don't think the Radiant sees this Wyvern. Doesn't. General kind of just waiting uphill as Roger pushes in for someone to look to defend this bottom lane. Promptu position.
Stupendous.
Like, for now, Hala Ares will not bite.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Mid lane, Na'Vi will encroach upon this tier 2, which is at full health at the moment, but it doesn't seem like Hala Ares have any intent of defending tower. They don't really have anyone to initiate. It's really, you know, on the, with the no blink dagger on the Sand King, it's really kind of on the Winter's Curse, fly in over the tree line. So it's a very difficult scenario to pull off. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Seneko is going to find the chosen one. General inbound, gets a 2-man poison Nova off, but there's no real follow-up. Seneko will look for the TP out and make it back to safety. And the hook shot in from General will find themselves another kill and likely another tower. It may be looking to defend top though. TP in from General, he does throw the rocket flare out. Maybe that alone is enough to back out the Dire squad, and it seems like that's the case. Crystallize will jump out and bait in front. Hook shot on the east actually does whiff from General. Crystallize unable to find anything. Now bottom lane, in goes the Winter Wyvern, gets the immediate cold embrace off. Good reaction time there. And now the Blood Right with the Burrow Strike could mean Dendy's in trouble. He does still have Aegis though, and they expend, excuse me, everything on Dendy here. So he should be able to just make it away to safety, and he does. Get the Aegis, but that just allows them to continue to press forward now with no Rupture available. Curse is online, but no mana to use it yet. Now General looking to find the TA. She blinks over to the east. Urn is there. Now Dandy jumping forward. Not going to be able to blink out again, but does get the meld off. No detection on these couple of heroes. And still, though, Na'Vi completely controlling the map. Playing on the Dire side, farming up the Dire's resources. Crystallize all by his lonesome. Does not feel threatened with the Lincolns.
Under attack.
More than fair. Does make it over back to reconvene with his team, however, in General. Looking to finish off this tier. Creep bottom will be able to secure the last hit. Going for the Radiance here. That is a luxury item if I've ever seen one. Clockwork. Blade build up for Crystallize. All things continuing to come. Orchid being built into by Dendy's got that 13 charge. Bloodstone. Crystallize, just kind of the only one showing in baiting. They feel that they can counter initiate with the clock hook. Oh, and they try to initiate, but it's just short of the Wyvern. Not be able to find a pick. No matter though. All the tier 2s eliminate outer tier towers in general. For Hala Ares and Na'Vi, you know, with deep vision in each of the lanes. Press forward. One on the shrine for the TP. Really, it's just a matter of waiting for Roche for them. It feels 2 minutes if that happens. But they jump forward looking for Dendy. Blood Right will be there in time. They Blood Rage him up as well. Meld Strike is there and the Rupture. And Dendy, more than likely to fall, will end up dropping here. So the smoke moves thus far has paid dividends for this Hala Ares squad. They get the Meld Strike off onto Roger, but it seemed like it missed because of the Solar Crest. He is still surviving, but only delaying the inevitable. It seems going for the TP up. That Meld Strike does connect, and a 2-0 for Hala Ares. Meanwhile, though, it does seem like they may want to re-initiate here. though. Quite a bit back until the hook shot. They do get the glimpse off, though. Beautifully played by Navi as General. Instead of going for the Radiance, picks up the safer pick in the 4-staff. Gets Seneko forward, who's now going to find the Wyvern as well. Goes for the TPL. Do they have anything? Dendi is there just to kill him off. Not in time. Wyvern does make it out. Hook shot there, but pretty far away for General. So difficult kill for them. And they get the Bloodseeker nonetheless, which is a kill on the backside. Poor trade where Dendi and Roger went down. Still though, again, Navi playing very safe, waiting for the Roche, occupying the dire side of the map, picking up their items. Only a couple hundred gold away here, actually just one creep away now from the full defusal. Crystallize, he'll fly that out.
Gotcha.
Does. Big upgrade to their damage. Deso is complete here for Losha. We saw mid lane him do quite a bit of work on these. Get worse now with that damage, but still, is it really enough? TA is certainly absolute apex of snowballing hero. It is not snowballing. Hook shot forward, not going to land, but they do get the battery assault off with the purge from the diffusal blade. That's the big ability there, allowing them to get in range of the Bloodseeker. Crystallize, even pressing forward with the Geminate. Burn a little bit of mana of that Wyvern. And that's going to be 35 seconds of an opening here for Navi. We'll see if they even care to go high ground against this. Actually, Poison Nova down currently. That was you. A bit of an opening for Navi. They look in towards bottom lane, which is a bit of a lower hanging fruit as compared to mid lane. One shrine by second one there, but a little bit harder to get kind of the founding. Have that pop, but is already under down here. Tread's finished up by Roger. Looks like he's looking into Defiance. Maybe pipe for his squad. Navi just playing this, I want to say just flat out correctly. Into the Bloodright, Winter's Curse, Poison Nova, high ground. They're just going to wait out for Roche. They have complete map control. There's really no rush for them. It's not as if they get heavily outscaled into the late game. And even if that were the case, they are the ones farming pretty much all the resources on the map. And it's just Hala Ares picking up the scraps, the creeps that straddle into their base. Crystallize going for a kill top lane, but he's not going to commit too hard to this. Gets Winter's Cursed up. Bloodright will actually be there. Gets under Sakuchi though and actually dodges the Burrow Strike, but they do have the detection Sentry Ward on the deck, and Crystallize actually does end up falling. Navi though, they want to reinitiate here. Cogs will catch one, Poison Nova onto two. They get 2 kills immediately though. Now Epicenter flying through, Dendi able to get out of the range of the Bloodright, and a Static Storm will end up finishing off the Sand King. They do get a triple kill for General, but he then ends up dropping 1,000 gold nearly, going the way of the TA. That's a 10 kill godlike, beyond godlike streak for General that was now just ended by the TA. She's sitting on 3k gold here, looking into a Hurricane Pike, maybe even just picks up a BKB here, which she'd be very close to getting. So a little bit of hubris perhaps from Navi. They lose one early in the fight in their Weaver, who's a lot of their damage, and they decide to reinitiate anyways. So out of that little trade, it was favorable for them. They end up getting 3-2 Venos and Winter's Curse and Winter Wyvern for the Weaver and the Clockwork. But the Clockwork worth a lot of gold. Look at the gold swing here. Net, talking 1,500 plus gold. Dire. Everyone with a positive gold quite dying. Anytime you're behind, even in heroes wise, it's certainly metrics wise. Though finally, the last piece of the puzzle for Navi that they've been waiting for many minutes now. Like they've had a big lead in this game since the fourth. Will be going their way. It's going to be a BKB for Crystallize soon enough. He has the cheese now, though. And that's going to make it a lot more difficult to more than likely just under a Bloodright, which really been like only way they've been able to pick him off. And the Orchid is available for Dendi as well. While General does find a pick top side of the map and bottom lane. Flying vision is there for the Wyvern. She's able to TP out under the tree lines, and they know there's no disruptor. Do they want to make a move here? Still, though, there's Aegis and Cheese. Dendy just out of Blood Right range to beat on the tower with the Aegis. 12 Bloodstone charges as well. Solar Crest is there. They do find the hook onto the TA. Nice bounce back on the cogs. Else she would have been able to blink out. Epicenter is going to fly through, but there's no real follow-up just yet from the dire side. General taking a lot of damage, has the blade mail up, is able to force down to the low ground. Now, though, with the side blades and the right click coming through is the TA. Rupture is there as well. General looking for a TP out. Dendy looking to re-engage on the Bloodseeker. Make sure he can't chase with all those thirst stacks. Nicely played by Dendy. General still alive here. Crystallize up through in the backlines. Does still have the cheese and the time lapse. Will be able to use the time lapse as he gets down. Uses the cheese first. And the time lapse actually almost killing him off. And it will. You don't see that happen all that often. Bloodseeker buying back here. They do get the tier 3 here mid lane. Soneko has now joined the fray as well. Dendy going to look to re-engage once again on the TA. Feeling a little bit confident here. Does have 3 heroes behind him. And the glimpse is there onto the TA. She's down. 80 seconds. No buyback. Winter's Curse does find one. It's going to be the Enchantress. And she will be dropped with the Splinter Blast coming through on the end. Silence onto Dendy as well. He could be in trouble. May want to deny himself. Doesn't get it off. So a lot of kills found on the back end for the dire side, and still the Raxes stand for them. However, they do expend 3 buybacks, all 3 of their cores. So a lot of damage done there. Bit of a misplay from Crystallize. He uses the cheese first instead of the time lapse, and then when he time lapses to the time before he used the cheese. He was down very low in health and just ends up dying to the tick damage of the Venomancers. Little bit of a fail fish there from Crystallize, but either way, a lot of damage done for Na'Vi. They can regroup, take out the shrines with pretty much relative ease, and wait out maybe their BKB purchases. Dendy, he's about 800 gold away from his. Crystallize, after dying, is a little bit further away. And indeed, that just happened for Na'Vi. Blink, Bloodright is going to be there. Dendy could be in trouble again. They've been executing this combo so well, and they force him to deny himself. Crystallize, though, looking to re-engage here. Could be in trouble. Need to get out of the way for the glimpse, and will. Just going to delay the inevitable here with the cold embrace. Looking for more. Not going to find it. They do find a kill to avenge Dendy. So to still, Hala Ares making some sort of case for themselves. At the Radiant Vision, Trap actually scouting the clock.
Dyer's top shrine is under attack.
Looking for someone, just queuing up the hook shot. TA a hard hero to hook into, has both Force and Blink. Could have gone for the BKB as I mentioned before, but you know, BKB doesn't necessarily protect you all that much against stock blade mail, so a bit of the wiser choice maybe here from Velosha, going Force Staff instead. Get out of that cogs, get onto a better. Na'Vi still about 700 gold away from their crystallized BKB. They are going to smoke it. Seemed like out of dire range. Just within it. They are playing very safe right now. They do have sentries at high ground. Not going to see anything, though, while these here. Wyvern hookshot not going to connect. Dendy, though, he's going to jump forward anyways. Gets the Orchid off onto the Wyvern and into the Static Storm. The glimpse will bring her. Now Epicenter flies out. It's only onto the Disruptor, though, and he gets forced down to the low ground. Now the Chosen One in trouble. Poison Nova, though, keeping Na'Vi at bay for now. Get the 1 kill. They force the buyback. Still, though, maybe a little bit afraid. Poison Nova running into them. General in trouble. Burrow Strike comes through. The Lincolns is there from Crystallize, but the Bloodright does connect onto the Weaver. He gets out to safety, however, with the friendly Force Staff. Sand King could be in a little bit of trouble. Crystallize nearby. Soul Ring, Burrow away, but only a little bit of a game of footsie there from the Sand King. 2 heroes down, no buybacks, 40 seconds. Na'Vi's window is nigh.
Nature attend us.
End this one. No Poison Nova, no Rupture available.
Stupendous.
Regroup, heal up, and get back in with the Nature's attendance. But the wave, though, is going to be cleaned up here shortly.
Radiant's bottom tower
So,
is under
well, backdoor
attack.
protection unactive, right? Not
Dire's
a word.
bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to go for the bottom lane where it is exposed, however. 5 seconds until Sand King is up. He has a TP available. Glyph is there. Maybe Na'Vi can even consider backing at this point. General up on front lines, and now the Sand King holding through. No epicenter available. General going to pop the preemptive blade mail. And a jump forward. Burrow is going to find Roger, and Roger will get silenced up. Gets off the Nature's attendance, though. And surviving for now. Now Dendi finds the Wyvern, gets the Orchid off onto him. Can they kill him off in time, though? Soulburn, it'll be close. It does finish him off. Impetus strikes on the west, finish off the TA, and on the north side, they get the Bloodseeker with Dendi. Now the epicenter coming through, but it seems like a little bit too little, too late. Roger, a bit too tanky with the pipe to go down. And begging for a courier upgrade is the TA. Triple kill for Dendi. Looks like that'll be enough to close this one out. Sand King nearby gets the burrow off. Get the first lane of racks. Orm gonna fly through.
Dire's bottom barracks.
Not connect. Burrow with the blade mail and the burrow strike. Catches a battery assault, I should say. Catches a burrow strike. Now the thunder strike should finish off. The Sand King. Heavy committal for that. As Roger walks his way over
Middle barracks has fallen.
the fountain. Aseneko planting down some BM trees. GG is called. Game 1 gonna go the way of Na'Vi. Looking pretty strong with their new squad. A few hiccups up in toward less.